All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. This is Clown Gaming Org's TFT Week 2 Championship as they are getting into the league presented by Aegis Gaming. Just a quick recap if you're a first-time joiner. This is Aegis TFT's Esports League Season 1, Week 2. Basically, there are 3 weeks of regular season play where 64 players will be randomized in lobbies playing 4 games each Sunday. After 3 weeks of regular play, this top 16 players, based on points, will go into a runoff playoff series for 1 week, and then finally a championship game for the final week. Clown Gaming Org has 2 players currently seated in this tournament. We've got Renogen and Paragon Gamer, both of which are currently placed in the top 16 spaces. Renogen is currently placed number 7th with 32 points, and then we have Paragon Gamer placed at number 16, just making it with 26 points. So we will get to see both of these players. Today we're going to start with Renogen, and then we're going to rotate over to Paragon once they get the games going. So thank you for staying tuned, and we'll get into it here shortly. All right, everybody, and just as promised, we're going to get into the game. The first one to play is going to be Renogen. Excuse me, currently a very high level. I believe in the Masters ranking for TFT, he is placed number 7th in the tournament for this Aegis TFT tournament. So a lot of high hopes here. After this game, we'll be moving over to Paragon Gamer, and we're going to get this carousel started off. If you're in the chat, feel free to let me know what you think is going to happen, what you'd like to see, who you're rooting for. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd love to interact with you. And it looks like he is wanting to get his hands on... Oh, last pick. Okay, we're going to take the Darius with the needlessly large rod. And yeah, so as we get this game started again, this is a 3-week tournament, 3 regular season week tournament, and then 1 week of playoffs and 1 week of championships. Top 16 players move on to playoffs, top 8 get paid out. Right now, Renogen is number 7th, and Paragon Gamer, both of which play for Cloud Gaming, is ranked number 16. And we've got some early Vexes. Good for Renogen. That is a really nice setup, and he's already got Arcanus going out on the board. So a nice little setup here going for him. Very nice to see 2 Vexes hop in place. You don't get to see that a lot, so good for him. All right, and he's hovering, looking around. He's got some really good options here. Thrill the Hunt 3, 900 health. He's taking a look around, seeing what everybody else is doing. Now, in these early games, I like to go as general as possible so you're not pigeonholing yourself into a specific comp because so much can change while you're still in even the minions. Exiles, 70% maximum shield would be kind of nice. And at the start of combat, you get an additional unit, the Woodland Charm. That's what he's going to roll with. Give himself an extra member out on the board. You know what, I was told we like the beat, so I'm going to go back and get some of these playing again in the background, just so we have them. Let's see if we can get his sound here. There we go. Let's see if we can get his sound here.
I can do this.
There we go.
Above all.
Let's see if we can get his sound here.
I can do this.
Let's see if we can get his sound. Alright, hold on. He appears to be playing my stream in the background. Look at that. Already got 5 members out there. He's currently running Yordle, Scrap, Bodyguard, and Arcanists. But that is one big singed. We'll have to see how he gets through it. They have already got Innovators against the board. Looks like he's going to do just fine here. That singed is going to take a moment to work through, though. And that's a good first dub for Renogen. And that's a good first dub for Renogen. And he still has me active. I apologize. Thanks for bearing with me as we get through this. I want you guys to be able to hear all the sound and all the fun. He's taking a peek around. No, nothing going there. Assassins, Twin Shot Academy, just Assassins, Bodyguards. So, a couple of people running what he's going. Bodyguards, Scraps. We see a couple of those out early. He's already got a Silver Poppy out on the board. Not a whole lot going here. He does already have the Scrap going on his Zig, so that's going to give him the Archangel Staff, but gets deleted kind of quickly. These 3 should be able to mop up relatively fast with the with the Twisted Fate here, and he is going to get taken out. And that's going to be the second dub. Off to a good start from Renogen here. Not the best place for the Socialite, I agree. That's all the way in the back for now. Looks like he's got a couple different Arcanists out on the board that he might want to pair with the Vex. He's got the Swain and the Twisted Fate both sitting on his bench. He's also got an Innovator and the Heimerdinger there chilling out. So he's got some options here depending on which way he wants to go. He could go into Yordles. Not the most strong comp unless you can just get all those guys up to 3 stars. But let's see how he decides to play it out. Looks like this could be another relatively easy win, as that Woodland Charm is coming out great, giving him a 5th member that's got 1,600 health right off the board. Let's see if we've been unmuted yet.
I can do this.
Let's see if we've been unmuted yet. No, we have not. Renogen, if you can hear me, could you mute the cloud gaming on your computer so that I don't get feedback, please, sir? If you can hear me, could you mute the cloud gaming on your computer so that I don't get feedback, please, sir? If you can hear me, could you mute the cloud gaming on your computer? We'll figure it out. Anyways, he's running through right now, getting ready to go into Carousel. Yordle, Scraps, Bodyguard, Arcanist. He's got a couple extra Arcanists sitting on the bench, so we're going to see what he wants to go with here. Looks like he was maybe looking at that Leona. He's going to run out and tries to get his hands on the Kog'Maw, isn't able to do it. He's going to walk away with the Chain Vest on Ezreal. And he's going to throw that on Vex. Don't be confused. If you've got Yordles, Vex is your tank, not Poppy. Vex is a very tanky girl. He goes ahead and throws the Chain Vest onto the Vex, gets her out on the front line. He's looking around. A couple Vexes out on the board still. He's still sitting very strong here. And he's going to throw the second Vex out just to have her out there. She's hard to kill, and it's early. Why not? Swain looks like they've got an early Swain carry here as a bodyguard. He's got the not as a bodyguard, but more as a frontliner. Got the Zraz portal, and he's also got the Bramble vest. Hopefully Ziggs can cut through him here. There you go, and he's on fire. Him and Trade vying for this #1 spot. Looks like he's not opting to go for the gold poppy. He's just selling that, getting himself solid econ. He's got another blitz here already. He's still sitting on some Arcanists. I'm interested to see where he takes this. He's sitting on 2 Arcanists. He's already got 2 active. And he's got an additional Vex out there. He could, he could be ready to just pop out that Vex, throw in a Swain, and then roll out with the 4. But I'm not sure what he's going to do here since he's sitting on that for so long. If you guys are watching, please feel free to comment in the chat. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the game. 2 Chalices of Power sitting on the Kassadin. This could be a rough match for him. Could be his first L here, as it looks like the other first place Trade is going to cut through here. And that will be his first loss at 2-6. Not the worst thing in the world. He's still sitting pretty at second place, or tied for second place with 3 others, rather. Trade is on fire. The double Chalice of Power on the Kassadin. Busted. There is his 2-star Twisted Fate. He's also got great econ going here, almost sitting at just under 40 gold at 2-7 is pretty good if you ask me. Going to go through Krugs here. Let's see if he gets some good RNG. There's the recurve bow. There is a needlessly large rod, so he's setting on a Rage Blade if he needs it. I don't know if that's the best option for his team comp, and he'll get a Negatron cloak. So let's see what he decides to go with here. And he's already hit almost max gold here. I'm interested to see how he plays this out. Because looking at his team comp, he's doing pretty... Ooh, there you go. So he is going to make that Ziggs a pretty tanky little boy. He's going to go ahead and go with the Rabbitin's hat, as well as go ahead and throw on the, the Giant Slayer. Basic attacks and spells are going to get 20% increased damage, increased to 60% if the enemy has over 1,800 health. So he's trying to cut through some people there. Looks like he did get kind of wiped out here from this enemy team in Mickley GG. All right, and he does end up popping the Swain out there, and he's got the Twisted Fate out there as well, and it looks like the audio issue has been fixed, so we're going to be able to clear the audio out here for you as well. Super excited to have all that resolved. So now rocking 4 Arcanists. Gives them a nice little bonus here. And he's going into Innovators. They've already got the Bear, so 5 Innovators out there. The Bear is doing some damage, but that Ziggs, even though he is just a 1-star, is still pumping out some damage. You kind of want the Vex on the front line, but she wasn't able to soak up too much of that damage. This should still be a dub for him, as it is 4 members to 2, and they're going to wipe up the floor with TTV Tinzoder.
Where's the action?
Alright, we get into our second one, and he just locks it in. He goes for the Arcanist upgrade there. So that is going to give him, let's wait to see exactly how it, which one he went with. I believe that was the Arcanist. Get abilities, not additional Arcanist, but we'll have to see for sure. So yeah, that's the one that it upgrades his Arcanist to do a little bit of extra damage there, so... He's taking a look around. He's got his Twisted Fate. It's interesting. He's had a couple additional Ziggs that he has not kept so far. I'm assuming that he wants to go ahead and wait till he gets perhaps a Lux or a Victor out there so that he can go ahead and put those items on her. And here he goes into hyperspace land. That Ziggs doing some serious damage with the Rabadons out there. They're moving towards the backline. Twisted Fate, though, is pretty bulky. That Vex is not going to be able to soak up that much damage. And with a 1-star Ziggs, it looks like that is going to be another loss going his way. Got a couple golden spatulas out on the board, 3 of them. That's a nice amount. Gives him some options there. We'll see what he decides to opt with. He is going to get to hop out towards the carousel next. And he is going to go for... Alright, he's going to try and looks like make the Bramble Vest on his Vex there. We'll see if that was the right choice. He does sell that off, makes the Bramble Vest over onto the Vex.
Time to start some trouble.
And he decides to throw out Echo out there. That gives him another scrap. No benefit directly from that, but 2 scraps will give you an additional, a little bit of shielding and some bonus benefits on your champions holding single items. Looks like this should be a win for him coming through here. He's not even worried about it. Looking to see how trade's doing. Still first place here. And that's going to be another win for him. And Trade does secure another win on fire now. Well, not on fire now. He's been on fire for a minute or 2. Throws the Rabadons onto his Twisted Fate. Goes ahead and sells that original Ziggs. Still rolling with just the 1-star Ziggs. It's interesting he put the Rabadons on the Twisted Fate. I thought he would have waited to get something like a Lux or the Victor there, but he went ahead and opted to put it onto Twisted Fate, his 2-star there. And gets the Negatron Cloak on just in time for it to pop off and give them the Ionic Spark onto his Echo. He does die kind of quickly, though. This okay. It should be still a win for him, but that is a pretty big Misfortune just plucking away there with, I'm sorry, a Samira with that Bloodthirster and the Runins.
True explorers follow the compass in their heart.
And that's going to be another loss going his way. Still middle of the pack, 65 health. Lowest is 28. That could be an econ decision, but there's a big gap between 7th and 6th place. And then a pretty big gap between 1st and 2nd. Going into Wolf, sitting pretty with 54. 54 gold, 55. Already at level 7. I'm excited to see what he can do here. There's the Negatron Cloak, a Leona, another Vex. That's going to feel good here in a moment. There's the level 2. And a Giant's Belt. So he's got some tanky items out there. Got the option to make a Zephyr, a Sunfire Cloak, or a Gargoyle Stone Plate. And he does have the silver Tier 2 Vex, which would be very tanky if you throw some items on her. Would be a great frontline carry there. He's sitting on a couple Innovators and a couple Socialites, but he didn't have the best placement in the world the first time, but it looks like he's going to move that around. Didn't quite get the Twisted Fate over there, but that's alright. He's got plenty of time. It's still early in the game. Let's do the double pull, shake hands. And that is one big grave sitting on a Warmogs. Well, he's got the Thieves, but he ended up getting the Infinity Edge and the Warmogs. But it's still going to be a dub going over to Renogen as he locks up that win. If Michele GG loses out here, I'm sorry. If Mike Lee GG loses out here, he will still have the option to go ahead and try and get himself into 3rd place a little early as we get into the back half of the game here. He has his Poppy sitting on there. He does end up getting his Tier 2 Seraphine. Getting some extra damage on that Socialite spot as of right now. He does manage to get the Twisted Fate off there, and we're going into this round against Istin and A. 2nd place on fire, so he's got a lot of work here if he wants to try and win this one. That poor Swain he's got is getting beat up. Already out on the board is a Kaisa. She was able to drop off one ult, but she doesn't get a second one. The Vex doing a great job of soaking up damage. She's got the Dragon's Claw and the Bramble Vest, so she is made for this. Not able to get through the Swain, and that's going to be a loss going over to Renogen. Okay, so we got the Silver Ziggs out there. He's sitting on a Janna. Janna offering the Scrap, the Enchanter, and I forget what her 3rd benefit is. We'll take a look here real quickly. It's going to be the Enchanter, the Scrap, and Scholar. That's what it is. So now he's got 2 Scholars of Socialite, Scrap, Yordles, and he's got 4 Arcanists. He's wanting to get that level 2 Swain. That would be really nice for him to have right now and give him a lot more tankiness in that front line. He does get the double Vex, though, which is kind of nice, thanks to that Woodland Charm upgrade. And he's going into Tinzoder, who will have to see if he can cut through here. That is a very big Scion up front. Gets cut down. Innovator still has the bear. He's getting healed up a little bit too, and this is going to be a loss handed over to him here. We go into Carousel. We've got an Innovator there. You know, he could deny that. Make sure that Tinzoder isn't able to get his hands on that. That would be huge for him in terms of getting the additional Innovator out on the board and moving one step closer towards the Dragon. It was already taken, though, and he's going to go ahead and get his hands on another Giant's Belt. I expect to see that go on the Vex and make a Warmogs.
Yep.
Yep.
Half empty. Yep. Glass is half empty.
There's your Lux that we were looking for. There's another Vex. He's going for gold Vex in the long run here. He's already about 2/3 the way there. Going to go ahead and sell the Twisted Fate, get some items out there. And there's the Lux sitting on the spot, trying to roll down and get some items out there. I like it. Okay, so the Twisted Fate dropped down, sold, got out of there. Now we've got the Lux carry. Looks like that item is going to be a nice benefit because here she starts cutting through people. There's one more. Reset. That should be enough to cut through these last 3 remaining people. That is a very big Shaco, though. I want to point that out, however. That is a very tanky Vex. They're going to go ahead and start working on the Zyra early. The Zyra is able to get her ult off. Pop 2 in the back. Vex popping her ult again. Going to try and blow up here, and it is going to be Woblum. A Woblum? Woblum. Yeah, let's go with Woblum, who's able to get that. Okay. He gets an Ornn item, 2 additional scraps, and some gold ore. He gets the 2 Arcanus, which is very nice. That'll push him up to 7, which means 1 more, and he gets the full 8 Arcanus out there. So we'll have to see how he decides to play this out.
I can make a difference here.
There's the level 2 Lux. And that's the level 6 Arcanus out there. So he's got quite a bit of damage coming off this Lux. He's got Arcanus bonus. He's got the Socialite spot. He's got the Giant Slayer and the Rabadons, and she's level 2. So we really do want to see this. Yeah, that was a rough loss there. We do want to see this going his way now, as this Lux should be an absolute cannon. And here we go. First ult going to come through. Boom. Just deleted somebody. There it goes again. She was able to take off 2 members before she got blown up. It was the Orianna ult that ultimately ended up moving her off that spot and getting her out of the way into the front line, so she took some early damage there. Unlucky again. Setting on a potential Silver Seraphine. He does decide to go with that. There's Victor. Another Arcanus would be great to have out there. We'll decide if he wants to do it. He's going to take out the Swain, throw in the Victor. Victor's ult takes a little time to warm up, so, you know, you got to give it time. But I do like it. Gets the Shroud of Stillness out there. Decides to swap out the Heimerdinger for the Lysandra. Still gets the Scholar bonus off of her, so no big difference there. But she is a little bit tankier than he is. Not putting the Shroud of Stillness out anywhere. Got to drop it soon, otherwise it's not going to pop off. There it is. Meanwhile, Talon is just starting to cut into this. There's the ult from the Victor, and it looks like he is online. He's going to have the honor of taking out the first person in the game, as Sun Fiendfry will go ahead and drop off in 8th place. Sitting at 6th, but now that he's got a Victor, he's got a Lux, level 2 Lux. He's gone ahead and gotten Lysandra out there, is a little bit of tankier. Yeah, Chicken stood no chance. He cut right through him. They thought they were going to get him in the end. We'll have to see how it goes. There's his silver level 2 Swain. We'll have to see if he wants to drop that out for anybody. Maybe, I wish I remember who he had right there. He'll throw the Arcanist out there. He's got 7 Arcanists. Thinking about dropping 7 as he's got a Twisted Fate on the board. He is going to go for 8 Arcanists. Decides to take a couple of his abilities out. And so he's setting on 8 Arcanists. Shroud of Stillness misses. Going in the number 1 spot here. That moved him up to number 4 as well. The Lux gets an additional ult off. She's going to be able to get one more. The healing coming in from Janna. Quite nice here. There comes the ult from Victor. There goes another ult, and this should be his to win. It's 3 versus 5, and you've still got your tank out there. Lux is firing away, and this is going to be a dub going over to Renogen as he takes down the first place person, locking himself into a solid 3rd spot. Opts not to go for it. Would have lost gold if he hit the button, so I'm glad to see he didn't do that. Still trying to hope that he gets that gold Vex, but he's not getting anything out there on the board to help him get there. Making some consolidations out there as he decides to get rid of the Akali and everything else. No more Socialite on the board, so he's not locked into keeping his Lux in any one spot particular. There comes the knock-up from the Scion. A battle going on here. The ult comes through, and it's absolutely deleting people. Resets. There's another one. Doesn't get a kill, so it'll be a moment, and she drops off. This is probably going to be a win going over to Michael GG, as Vex is not tanking enough to handle all of this damage. There goes the Twisted Fate, and there goes the Victor. The ult will get off, but nothing more will come of it. Let's see what he opts to go with. He's going to get out of Carousel next here.
Yep. Glass is half empty.
And he goes with the... Okay. Gets the Thief's Glove, pops it over on the Victor, give him a little bit of a buff here. He's looking for 2 more Victors or a couple more Vexes. I don't think there's any real hope setting on that Lux. He decides to sell it. Maybe he gets a Janna here. There's a Vex. He's going to lock it in. And yeah, he's off to the races. He could be going up against Hyperspace, Trade, or Wampum. And he's going to go into Trade here. Only 5 points above him. Start off the round very hot, but has fallen quite a bit, this Trade fellow. We'll see how it goes here. Lots of those Chalices power setting on that Orianna. And that Lux is not able to get an ult off again. Unfortunately, Vex is just going to sit here and try and take as much of that damage as she can. But this will very likely be the win, or the game, not the game, the round going over to Trade. And unfortunately, that is going to be Renogen dropping off here at 6th place. At 6th place, that is going to net him a total of 2 points. So still in the positive overall, not terrible. Let's go ahead and pop on over to... let's finish out the rest of this game. Paragon's still playing his game. We'll pop over to him here in a little bit once he gets going. But I kind of want to see how the rest of this game goes. We're invested at this point, folks. We must see it play out. Now, Wampum is one of the... Wawum? I don't know how to say his name. Wallum is currently placed 6th, just right above him, so we're hoping that he gets knocked out here relatively soon. Not because we want to see him lose, but just for the standings, it would do us a really good job of keeping us in here. And there's Wallum as he will fall, and that will be a total of 4 points over to him, so the difference there is going to be negligible as they will still stay relatively close together in the lineup. Top 3 playing for it here as Michael Mikely GG is taken out. We've still got Iston, Trade, and Hyperspace. Hyperspace in a nice little spot here. Let's see what he's got. Click on it. Go ahead. Go for it. Rabadon's hat over to Trade would be nice for him, as he does have the Malzahar. He has the Lux as well. Trade just has a strong backline there between the silver. I just now noticed this. The silver Jinx sitting on a double socialite spot. So she is doing some damage there. Here comes the ult from the Jinx. She's trying to cut some damage there. She's so close, though. And that Seraphine is just healing for massive amounts. Jace is doing some damage as well. And this could be a win. They're fighting it out. I don't know who's going to win it at this point. Alright, this should be a win for Trade. Trade takes his place in first place now. Hyperspace is going to drop down to second, and Iston setting in third at this point. Sims, you're absolutely correct. He is still net positive. The other person that was ahead of him in that game only got 2 more points than he did, so not the worst thing in the world there. The rest of these folks looking on the board all setting relatively lower than he is. Trade's at 27th place. Hyperspace is all the way down at 34th place. And Iston I can't find him on there, but it doesn't look like he's above him. Oh, yeah, he is. He's at 8th place. So Iston has a chance to bump up above him here. All right. Comes down to Iston and Trade. Clown Gaming Org wants Iston to lose here, not because we don't like him, but because he is closest to us in the brackets. Trade setting down a little bit lower. We'd love to see him get the win here and deny some points from Iston. We'll have to see how it plays out as the final... But it's very likely the final bout is about ready to happen right here. That's a big Lux, though. You've got an Orianna buffing up that back line. What's going to happen? The Oriole goes out, switches things up. There comes the ult from the Yuumi. Some damage coming down. This Colossus Scion is just running through the front line, knockup after knockup. This is very likely going to be a trade going over, a win going over to Trade, and that'll be Iston losing out. And that is going to be Game 1. Stay tuned as we get into Game 2. We're going to follow Paragon Gamer in the next game as we get into the second game here just shortly, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I forgot to mute myself. All right, everyone, thank you for tuning back in. We're about to get into Game 2, Paragon Gamer of Clown Gaming Org, in the second week of the Aegis TFT Season 1 tournament. Week 2, and we just saw X-Renogen get 6th place. Paragon Gamer got 5th place. And we are going to get started here in just a moment, so stay with us. All right, everybody, and we are going to go ahead and get into Game 2 with Paragon Gamer. Again, Clown Gaming Org, Week 2 of the Aegis TFT tournament. Let's see what he decides to pick up here. Hey, we got a couple people from last game. Istin, Mikey, GG, and Hyperspace, both in this lobby as well as the last one. We'll see how they do. He goes with the Caitlyn with the BF sword for his first pick, and this game is underway. If you're tuned in, I love to chat with the folks watching. Feel free to engage in the chat. Let me know what you think is going on during the game, how you think it's going, what you think they should do, or if you think they shouldn't have done something. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And he's getting some early purchases. Got a couple Chemtechs on the board. He's got the Silver Lowy out there. Goes for the double bruiser, and he's going to go ahead and work towards... Okay, he'll have a Twisted Fate out there for a little carry. And this is going to be the final round of minions, and we will get this game underway. Setting on a BF sword, he's got the tier and he's got the needlessly large rod, so he does have quite a few options in terms of what he wants to go here. He can go for power, he can go for quickness, he can also go for a little healing if he wants to. We'll see. Lots of bruisers. I love bruisers. I think bruisers are a strong class. I think they give a lot of benefits, health across the board. We'll see how he decides to play it out here. He goes with 4 members out there. And he's going to start building into his items here as he gets the BF sword onto the Trundle and the needlessly large rod onto the Twisted Fate. 4v4, 1 silver on each side. Pretty evenly matched, but I think the additional health coming out of the side of Paragon Gamer is going to be the difference here, as it is looking like it's going to be a lockup for him, and he'll get his first dub of Game 2. He goes for the 4 bruisers, got an early vie there, and that looks good as he's going to get out there with 4 bruisers. Quite the tanky crowd as they'll go into Spherical here. Here we go. He's going into some Chemtechs, some Challengers, some Bruisers. They are cutting through. He's standing strong. And it looks like it is going to be early L in round 3. That's okay. It just gives him a little bit better pick onto the carousel. All right, and let's see what he decides to opt with here as we are into the first carousel of the game. He gets to hop out here first. He's got several bruisers, a couple Chemtechs out on the board. He's going to go with the Leona. And he decides to say he's innovating this game. Paragon has a sense of humor. I love it. There's Lysandra for a Chemtech option. He goes ahead and puts the blue buff as well as the needlessly large rod on Vi. He's still got the BF sword on the Trundle. And he's got the Silver Alawi out there. He does have the Lysandra. And he is a Warwick sitting on his bench if he wants to go with Chemtech that way as well. And that's another dub going over to him. Now, one thing I do want to see is what he's going to put as his carry. Right now, they nerfed the Trundle a little bit. He's got some items on the Vi. I do want to see how he decides to play this out and what he decides to put as his carry. He's sitting on the Warwick in the back. He's sitting on the TF in the back. So we'll just see what he decides to do. Sells a whole bunch of stuff. Puts himself at 20 gold, gives himself a little bit more interest for the next round. We'll see what he decides to do. He's thinking about hitting a button, though. Already a Shroud of Stillness out there. Yuck. Looks like he's going up against another bruisery team here. They are going to cut through relatively quickly. This Malzahar, can he stand up against these two? I don't think so. And they do a little additional damage after 15 seconds, so that helps out a little bit for that late game carry as long as those bruisers keep you alive. Well played there. And that's another win going over to our man, Paragon. Okay. He likes the placement of the socialite. He's going to go ahead and throw Vi on there. Mikely GG running through his team here as he does put up an L for Paragon Gamer and knocks him down to third place here. That's okay. I don't have COVID, I swear. I know you were all concerned about that sneeze. It's okay. All right, we went ahead and got rid of the Tarek, and we've dropped in the Lysandra again. And there's another dub going over Paragon Gamer's way as he's able to lock up another win for himself. Let me see if I can get this audio turned up for you a little bit. All right, and he decides to go with the 2 target dummies out on the board along with his very tanky line of bruisers there. Thank you very much for turning up the audio. I love you. And this should be another dub coming his way as those bruisers are just cutting through Assuming Barn, and that is going to be another win going his way. That damage, that first augment that he grabbed that gives him the increased damage coming into the second half of the match, really making wonders for this bruiser team as they're able to survive the initial onslaught with that additional health, and then they start to pump out some damage. He doesn't need to have a true carry at this point. We'll just see what he goes for here. There's a Mundo out there, which would be very nice. Would give him the Kimtech, would be a nice pairing with his Bruiser and other options. But he decides to go with the Blitzcrank. He is going to get the glove off of that. Decides to sell that guy. He's got his Blitzcrank out now. Setting on a full stack of gold as well, so he can finally start making some options happen for himself. Some damage coming out here from this enemy team, but now that they've got the buff on, they're going to start cutting through these folks here. However, that Leona with the Bramble Vest and the Redemption is going to have quite a bit of sustain. Thankfully, you've got the Zillion back on the back line working towards that target dummy now. Pulled over into the mix. This will be another L going his way, and will drop him down close to 4th place. 3rd. And here we get into this next match, as it is quite a bit of damage coming over onto both sides. Target dummy not doing a lot there in the background. Got 2 snipers plucking away at his relatively tanky team. As they close the gap, the damage increases. And this could be a win for Paragon, as he deals quite a bit of damage to... Ooh, I'm going to mess that up. Karsaka... TA. We'll call him TA. There's a Lux. Doesn't really fit into his comp, but sometimes it's just nice to have or deny from other people, so he goes ahead and throws it on his bench just to chill out there for a moment. Going into Wolves, sitting at a decent amount of gold here. He's 67 gold. He's got a bunch of his bruisers still out there. I'm interested he hasn't gone Chemtech. That is more of a late round or a late match kind of comp, and with that bonus in the damage that he gets, I think it would be a nice pairing. So I do want to see where he decides to go with this. He's got a couple options sitting on his bench now. Sunfire staring me in the face. Redemption looks like he's got the Frozen Heart out there as well as the Golden Spatula. Nice combo to be able to pair with a couple different things that he has to make some additional traits out there. Doing well. Last place is 18 health. First place is 90, sitting at second place at 84. So he is in a very comfortable position going in this game. Beautiful econ going right now. Level 7, 4-1, sitting on 55 gold. Several bruisers. He's got a Chemtech. He's got a scrap out there. And we're going to see this game really getting underway as he's going into Mikely GG, who has several 2-star units out there. There goes the buff, but it's going to be just a little bit too late. Mikely has several big players out there. And I like that he's got a couple Arcana sitting on his bench. He's got options open, a Socialite as well, a couple items. He's in a pretty good spot right now. 71 health, top half of the match. Just above 4th place, hovering in the middle of the pack there. Not forced to put his items on anything he doesn't want to, and he hasn't committed to a solid carry yet. So definitely interested to see what he decides to go. If he wants to lean more into the Bruiser, Chemtech, more of that late round fighting, or if he wants to go into something that has a little bit more of the traditional front to back carry. Kaisa already pumping out some damage. She's got the Archangel Staff and the Morellos. Took a little nerf here recently, so the Morellos isn't going to do the most amount of damage. But now they've got the additional damage coming out. However, it is going to be 2 target dummies who don't do much damage at all, and that's going to be a win going to Sometimes First. Currently sitting in 5th place. Had a little bit of a drop here, but that's all right. There's another bruiser. There's your Chemtech buff as well, setting on that Mundo, who's going to set out in the front line. We'll see what he decides to do here. He's still got several items sitting off to the wayside. Like I said, he's sitting on a Sunfire Cloak. He's sitting on a Redemption. He's sitting on a another Chemtech. He decides to opt in, get that in there. That gives him 4 Chemtechs as he makes Trundle another Chemtech. We'll see what his ultimate plan is here, if he's going to get the Singed back in the fight or if he's going to leave it just sitting there for now. And his team is starting to just wail through these folks. However, there we go. Another loss coming his way as he is just trying to find his stride. I don't know, watching how it's playing out, he is having a rough run here. He's dropped from about 84 to 47 health in the last couple rounds. He's on a 3 to 4 game losing streak. You got to think, are the target dummies in the right place? Does it make sense to maybe get some more of those items out on the field? Do you need to have more of a carry as opposed to just a straight front line? These are some of the questions you got to ask yourself as we're watching this play out. And he's also taking a lot of time to decide what he wants to do here as he decides to go with the Seraphine with the Giant's Belt. He will opt to go with that, and we will get into the second half of the 4th round. Upgrades to level 8, sitting on 36 gold. He's got Mutant option now. I'm going to go ahead and take the Urgot as well. Sells the Malzahar, gets himself another Lux. Is not going to go for the Gold Trundle as he sells one of those off as well. Has the Twin Shot option with the Jinx now. Not quite able to get everything out in time, but still able to get it out nonetheless. There, now he's got some carries. The Urgot, the Jinx doing some damage in the front line there to help keep them alive. That's okay. It's his first game with the new setup here as he's got 2 twin shots out there and he's got 5 Chemtechs. I am hopeful for how it goes. He also hit the scrap bonus and the twin shot bonus as well as the sisters. So I like what we're seeing here. That could have been his plan all along. He's a genius, folks. We're going to see him do it. What's he deciding to go with? He is going to go with the airdrop. As long as, I believe that's the one that says as long as the scrap bonus is out and in force, that he will get an item every 3 rounds or so. Two-star Urgot looking mighty strong out there. Still got options to put one person out there. He goes ahead and throws a couple more. Now he's got 7 Chemtech with the Twitch, and he decides to stick with 5, puts the sisters back out there with the Silver Alawi. Gets himself a Silver Mundo as well. And he's chilling on the Fiora. Why not? Maybe working towards a Gold Zac. There's another Jinx. He's going to sell those, get her. I like where he's going with this so far, though. She's got the Titan's Resolve. She's got the GA as well as the Chemtech. So she's going to get a benefit as soon as her health drops down. Here she comes in for the ult, doing some damage. And there's the benefit for the bonus damage as well. Starting to cut through people now. Here they go. The Janet pops her out, keeps everybody back. This Jhin is just trying to cut through people. He'll fall, and that's going to be a win going over to Paragon, as it looks like he's finally hit his stride at 40 health. 2 people out now. Guaranteed 6th place positive points for the tournament, so that is always a good thing. All right, we got a Needlessly Large Rod, a BF Sword, and we've got the Chain Vest. That gives him another GA, gives him some option to have some longevity in these fights with having that on his Jinx. I like the way this is starting to play out. He's got more of a front line. I'd like to see that Jax get up there in the front and protect that Urgot a little bit. There we go. I like what I'm seeing here now. Solid front line. You got the Jace up there as well. 2 Shrouds of Stillness, both missed. Not doing a whole lot of help there. The Jinx kept alive. I'm sorry, the Kai'Sa kept alive here. Trundle's on her. She's going to hop away, though. Still getting her ults off. There's the excess damage, and there's another win going over to Paragon as he is continuing to go ahead and get some steam moving in his direction, as he is now within spitting distance of second place, sitting at 53, only 13 health damage. And if you're watching, Sims is over here just ragging on these chickens. You'd think that they have you'd think Sims has it out for these chickens. Here's some more damage coming through. Jinx getting ready to go up in for all of them are kind of low. There's some damage coming down. The burn goes through. The increased damage comes out. And that's going to be the dub again for Sims as he takes some damage onto Iston in A. And he is working his way up as he is now into 4th place as he was hovering at 6th just a moment ago. Sometimes first drops down. Barn drops down. Mike Lee G and Spitting Distance Hyperspace now at just 50 health. So the gap is closing as he continues to roam through. Doesn't love where that Socialite spot's at. I don't blame him. I don't love it either. You can't put anybody really worth carrying up in the front like that, at least with the team comp you've got. So we'll see what he decides to go here. Jace gives him the Enforcer as well. He's got Transform, he's got Sisters, he's got several traits active across the board. Takes a little bit of an L, drops him down to 26 health, 24 health. Still sitting in 4th place as 6th place goes to sometimes first, so he's guaranteed 4 now. Batman, welcome to the group. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hello, hello, hello. We're watching Paragon, currently sitting at 4th place in this match. Grab himself a Last Whisper. Looks like he might want to drop that onto his Jinx or drop it onto his Urgot. He's going by crazy. It's gone to his head, guys. No. Rotating around, seeing what some of his options are. He's got a second Vi out on the board now. He's setting on a couple Urgots. Looks like he is going to opt for the Vi. Do it. Buy the Vi. Buy the Vi. He sold the Vi just to buy the Vi. But now with the Victor, he finds himself in a lot more of a carry position as he has several damaged champions and a good solid front line. Here comes the increased damage. Mundo's still alive. GA popped on Jinx, keeping her alive. Still alive, finds himself in 5th place. Assuming Barn won his match, which is unfortunate. Could have gotten us a little bit closer. Oh, I see Batman. Say hello to Sims. He's hunting for the Silver Jinx, for the Silver Vi, for the Silver Victor. He's got lots. It looks like it's probably going to be a 5th place finish, but that's okay. 5th place still gets us positive points in the setup right now. And not a lot of these folks that are left in the top space are listed far above him. I don't believe so. he's still got plenty of options as far as that goes. Let's see. Kaisa doing some damage. His team just getting melted here, and this is very likely going to be where he drops out. Hyperspice will do the honors and put him at 5th place, +4. Regen got 6th in... no problem, Batman. Let's see. I'm going to swap over to Reginald as he is still playing, so just bear with me 1 second as we get his game pulled up since Paragon is done. Paragon going ahead and locking up the 5th place spot. X-Renogen is going ahead and playing in this match, and he is going to still be up against, let's see, Blaze, Vainstigan, Within, and Vicious. Gotta feed that Tom. Feed him something. There it is. Kaisa with the Rage Blade and the Static Shiv. Beautiful combo. Putting out some damage. I don't think it's going to be quite enough, and we tuned in just to watch him lose. I'm so sorry that that's what we tuned in to see, guys. But I will say this. 2 5th place finishes for Clown Gaming give them positive points within the tournament, and they are still holding on to their spots as it appears right now. Stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and get into Game 3 here shortly. If you're just tuning in, we're halfway through. Thanks for watching. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we are getting into Game 3. Right now, we're going to be following X Renogen as he gets into the third game here for Clown Gaming in the Aegis Season 1 TFT tournament. Right now, their members, Paragon Gamer and X Renogen, set in the top 16, and we will see if they are able to hold it after this weekend. They've gotten a 6th and 5th place, and then 2 5th place, so positive points all around as we get into this third game here. Goes to the rear curve bow.
Swinging from the heel. This is burning. This is burning. This is burning. This is burning. Lights out.
And Renogen decides to opt in for the 2 dummies out on the board.
Have you met my fleas?
We've got 2 bodyguards. We've got some Yordles out. Swain's setting off to the side for the Arcanist bonus. Twisted Fate as well. And there go the 3 Yordles out on the board as we get this game underway. Keep in mind, this is week 2 of the tournament. There are 3 weeks of regular play in the season, so we still have a whole nother week of play just like this for the final seats to be organized, and the top 16 players will move on to the playoff. Right now, both of these players are sitting in the top 16. They've had some positive gains for the day, so hopefully they'll be able to maintain those positions. And we're getting underway right now as we see Chillant going into Renogen here. Could be an early loss for him. That's okay. It just means he's going to get good carousel picks.
Yep. Glass is half empty.
Tonight, I'm feeling greedy.
Opts for an early level 4.
Ready for trouble?
Got champions going left and right. He has the scrap bonus going, Yordles and Arcanus as the Vex is out as well. Early Vex is beautiful as it is a great frontliner, along with that Giant's Belt, going to give her a little bit more of the tankiness and sustain she needs. And a 10 is going to go ahead and fall here as Renogen is going to get his first dub of Game 3. Thank you. Good call, Batman. Appreciate it. Sorry. Looks like he's going to hang on to the Ziggs. We're checking around. Another group with some Bruisers and Dummies there. Scrap and Yordles going on another base. Scrap and Arcanus going on another one. So there is some vying for the exact things he's going for. Hopefully they don't run into too much trouble or he's able to get them first. He's also sitting on some assassins. He may opt to throw those in there as well. I don't think the dummy's going to last that long. This Silver Zig's not going to be able to hold up against the onslaught. Saved as Untitled will bring, and that will be his second loss. Gives him a great carousel pick, and he's still at 90 health, so nothing to be too worried about as we get into the second half of this first round. Still sitting on the recurve bow. He goes ahead and gets the crit glove.
Where's the action?
Time to start some trouble.
Empire above all.
He's got two Swains out there now, sitting on two recurve bows. Goes ahead and gets rid of the Trundle, puts in the Echo.
I can do this.
And there's some Assassins. So Assassins, Yordle, Scrap, and Arcanus out on the board. Those Assassins hopefully going to do really well here in the early game as they'll hopefully cut through some of the back lines. As the Vex is a beautiful frontliner and can hopefully take some of that damage in while the Ziggs is able, or while the Tristan is able to just go ahead and get some damage off. Tristana versus Tristana. Who's going to win? There comes the ult, and that's going to be Renegin going ahead and getting the win there as the Tristanas face off against each other. But it will be he who is able to get the ult off first and secures the dub for that round. Decides to get rid of the Vex, puts in the Poppy. Goes ahead and gets the Darius in there, get the bodyguard trait going as well. Still holding on to Yordles. Echo doing some damage. There goes the Redemption, giving him a little extra burst of life there. They're going to focus on the dummy, and it's going to be Ziggs and Tristana just laying waste to this Twisted Fate. But it will be a loss, and Zichi is going to go ahead and get the win there against Renegin and take him down to 86 health. Puts him down in the middle of the pack, but that's okay. He's still got plenty of people much lower than he is.
Hot on the trail. By my calculations.
And swaps out, has the Caitlyn for the sniper option if he wants it. Has the Socialite and Taric if he decides to go that way. Krug's going to fall down relatively quickly as he goes ahead and locks these up. Gets himself a BF sword, a chain vest, and the final item he is going to get here is going to be another chain vest. So a little bit more on the tankier side. Gives himself the Bramble vest or the GA as an option here. There's the Bramble vest. Going to throw that onto the Darius. It's interesting. He has some more snipers here. Opting not going to go with the snipers. Not going for the Ziggs there, so he's not looking for a gold Ziggs either.
The fun begins.
Another loss handed over by Chillin, as he has just a lot of tier 2 players out there. Arcanus, he's got Scrap, he's got quite a few. He's got 4 Scrap, which is great, gives you that little bit of shield, and you've got 3 items that you can now get buffed up, so that is pretty big there. Echo onto the back line, doing some damage, has the Zephyr. They're all starting to turn on him, though. Only 3 members left against 4. The ult doesn't quite pop off. Misfortune not going to be able to survive here, and that's going to be a win going over to Volga, the hamster. Cybernetic implants, some extra damage and health for people holding items. Pandora's box, get some extra items each round. Or, I'm sorry, the randomizing items feature. Taking a look around, doesn't want to lock in too soon, got plenty of time. Or Bodyguard Heart, get 1 more Bodyguard. And Kana Leona. Looks like he's going into 3 assassins. His back line has been taken out relatively quickly. Echo working on this Blitzcrank, not able to quite get through him. It's just Poppy and Echo now, and it is going to very likely be a dub going over to Dr. Vitus. Finds himself at 7th place, 57 health. Top place still at 100, last at 38. So a little gap between him and the last person, but he gets a great carousel drop, and he's going to be able to get himself an Oriana. Gives him the crit glove as well as the clockwork and the enchanter bonus if he decides to go with that. Don't think it's going to be where he goes, but you never know. There is the tier 2 Poppy. Goes ahead and throws the crit glove onto excuse me, onto the Tristana, makes an Infinity's Edge. Innovators going across the map there. Some brawlers and mercenaries working over on that side. Looks like the mercenaries are able to do some damage here, as Tristana is going to have to try and take 4 down. She's not able to do it. Renogen drops down to 47 health here. Goes ahead and grabs another Misfortune, decides to drop off the Zillion. Has a second assassin sitting on a Vex as well. And the final match of round 3 begins here against Arrow 1v9. Blitzcrank goes ahead and yanks over the Ziggs, pops him, he's down for the count. Misfortune Alt layers down. Thankfully, though, that Poppy and that Darius absorbing a lot of damage for the front line there. 2 Misfortunes out on the board, I just noticed. Look for those ults to come down, and that is a beautiful combo to have 2 Misfortune ults just run through, and that's going to get him a dub. First one here in a couple games. Good for him.
By your command.
Wolves dropping quite a few folks on the board. He's going to go ahead and get rid of a couple of them. Gets himself a recurve bow as well as a crit glove out there. Braum swapped out for the Darius. Still gets the bodyguard trait, but love that ult on Braum. Quite a bit of disruption. Innovators here, the bear pretty strong, taking out a lot of damage there. Echo will fall. Misfortune Alt comes down. Malzahar out there doing a little bit extra damage, giving the Arcanist bonus as well with the Ziggs. Poppy still taking some damage alive in the front line. Misfortune Alt going to come down here. Drops the Zillion, drops the Ezreal. And Malzahar is going to lock up the kill. Save as Untitled will go ahead and fall here, and Renegen gets his second win in a row. Almost on fire. Keep it going. Going against first place here. Chillin is undefeated in this game so far. We're going to see how it goes. Misfortune Alt comes down. Some damage layering down. Braum going to try and absorb as much of this damage as he can. He'll fall. Backline versus backline. Jaso sitting on their side, though. Pretty strong. He falls. 2v1. Malzahar trying to put out the damage, and he will get the win. That's going to be Chillin staying in first place as Renegen will fall. Drops him down to 42 health. Still sitting at 6th place.
I can do this.
Tough decisions. 2 upgrades away from being able to get level 8 and put some champions in there. He decides to do it, drop down below the 50 gold a little bit, and goes ahead and gets the Janna in there. Throws the Zyra in as well. Swaps out the Scholar bonus for the Arcanist bonus. So hopefully that increased mana regeneration throughout the whole team will benefit some of those other champions like the Misfortune as well. Let's see if it works out for him as he goes into Volga the Hamster. Renegen goes into Volga the Hamster, who already has 7 Innovators, the Dragon out on the board, calling them out, saying calm down just a little bit, as that will drop him down to 28 health, still sitting in 6th place. takes a peek around the board, sees what he's going into. A couple of the ones that he's likely going into. We've got Bruiser setting up there. There's a 2-star Janna. There's a nice strong Tristana. I'm sure he would love to get another Tristana here. Grabbing some Orianna. Grabbing a Colossus. Oh, there's your 2-star Braum. There's the bodyguard. Has 3 bodyguards out there. 2 bodyguards and 2 protectors out there with the Blitz. I kind of like the swaps he just did. I think that's going to be a great front line. The Silver Scion setting on 2 tanky items. I mean, Silver Scion setting out there with the Braum, with the Blitzcrank. We'll see if it works out for him. The Braum and the Blitzcrank getting worked over here kind of quickly. However, that Tristana is being able to just free fire the whole time, not taking any damage. Oh, there's some damage as I said that. She falls. Two randomly completed items, 2 Thieves' Gloves, or 3 loaded die. Goes with the Thieves' Gloves, gets himself out there. Silver Tristana now, so she will be doing quite a bit of damage. There's the Misfortune. Who's he going to sell for that? Goes ahead and drops that Scion on the bench. Braum gets one of the Thieves' Gloves. Misfortune gets the other. Some health onto Janna. There's the Banshee Shield to protect that backline. Make sure those 2 snipers are kept as safe as possible. Orianna setting off to the side. Still has the golden spatula and the recurve though. And he gets rid of the Tristana. Decides to put out the Jhin and loads the Jhin up with all of her items. And he goes into a 10. Last place, but last place has been on a little bit of a win streak here. That's okay. These snipers doing some damage. That's just the change he needed. Kaisa not going to be able to do enough, and he is going to knock a 10 out. Guaranteed minimum 7th place, which, if I'm not mistaken, is at least 0 points. It is, so he's not going to lose any points. No problem there. So now he's got a beautiful front line. Protectors, bodyguards. He's got snipers. He's got scrap, enchanters. He's got quite a bit going for him here, so we're going to see how it all plays out. Let me hear it. Let me hear it, Sims. What do you got for me? It looks like everybody made it to chickens again. Good job.
I'm always ready.
Opts to go ahead and get rid of the Jhin. Puts all the items onto the Jace. Goes for the Scholar with the Zyra instead. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Misfortune and the Jhin were doing quite a bit of damage. That being said, I'm only in gold. What do I know? Let's see if this plays out well for him as Regen goes in to save his Untitled here. He's got the Jace with quite a few items there. Front line slowly making their way up as all 3 members are left relatively untouched. There's the damage coming through, and that is going to be another win going over for Renegin. As it turns out, that was a great play. Jace absolutely cutting through that back line and that front line absorbing quite a bit of damage, long enough for them to go ahead and get all their ults off. Sitting on an Orianna, sitting on a Jhin, sitting on a Jace, looking for a Zyra as well. Decides to put the Runins on Janna. Okay. Let's see as we get into this next match here. Frontline doing some damage. Urgot with the static shiv cutting through the magic resist of this Renegin team. However, there is a lot of damage coming down from that backline, still left relatively untouched as it's 2v4, 3v1. Urgot, though, putting out some damage and has the GA. Misfortune getting knocked around here. There goes the ult from Zyra. There pops the GA. And that's going to be a win for Renegin as well, as he finds himself now sitting at 5th place here.
Fully charged.
Alright, he's got the silver Jace now. That's going to be very strong. Quite the front line going into 2 Colossus members there. Makes them very tanky. Some damage coming down. Looks like the Seraphine ult goes wide. Doesn't connect with the back line at all. Galio comes down. There's the knockup. But it's already 4v5. This Fiora, however, is laying down quite a bit of damage. She falls. Kaisa and Scion left standing. Jace trying to put some damage down, just cutting through the Scion. He gets a shield, though. Kaisa ult goes off again, and that's going to be a dub going over to Dr. Vitus, as it will take Renegin down to just 6th health. Save as Untitled drops, though, guaranteed 4 points in 5th place, no matter what. Shroud of Stillness gets picked up by Renegin here, looking to use it defensively to try and counter some of these champions that he's running into, particularly that Kaisa that is continuing to get off ult after ult that is just wearing through his team. Trying to make his team around who he could be up against next. It could be one of a couple different champions. All of them are kind of leaning towards the left side, though. So that Shroud of Stillness going to be put to good use if he drops it here soon. There it is. It does manage to hit the Kaisa as well as a wide group of other champions. Quite a bit of damage comes through. Scion Braum still left standing there up in the front line. There goes the Yuumi ult. Jace gets pulled, brought up to the front. Kaisa managing to free fire her ult off. Nothing's going to stop her quite yet. They can't get to her. Janna trying to heal up. Kaisa going to get another ult here soon. And that's going to be the win going over to Zichi, as it will be a round 5th place finish for Renegin. All right, let's go ahead and get into Paragon's game. We do want to say thank you to Renegin, as he was able to place 6th, 5th, and 5th in the series, and keeps positive points for Cloud Gaming. Let's go ahead and see how Paragon's doing, and let's do a check-in here. He is currently sitting at 1st place, 82 health against the board. One player already knocked out, so he's sitting very pretty. And this will be where the 4th game goes as well, so we'll be watching Paragon again finish up after this. Oh no, why did we tune in, guys? We ruined it. We're bad luck. I'm so sorry, Paragon. Paragon takes an L there, drops down to 69 health, 2nd place. Still sitting pretty good, though. Let's take a look at his team. 4 scholars, 4 scraps, so quite a bit of mana regeneration coming out of his team. Gets Innovator's Soul, gives himself another Innovator, throws him to 5, so he does have the potential to go ahead and get the Dragon this game now. 4 scraps, so quite a bit of shielding and quite a bit of item upgrades coming out from his side. Chemtech and Bruiser, so quite a bit going on for him. He can definitely make this work, sitting in second place here. Opts to go for 6 Innovators, drops some of those other champions. And he is making moves left and right. Now we got Clockwork Enchanter out there as well. Beautiful job here as the Shining Star is going to fall to Paragon. Looks like he's just kind of looking for a Jace. And it looks like both of the members from Cloud Gaming will make it to Chickens for round 3. Gives himself a Recurve Bow, Needlessly Large Rod, Chain Vest, and he's still sitting on 2 Crit Gloves there. So he's got lots of options. Going to go ahead and grab the Kaisa. Again, still looking for the Jace. Would love to find that. Complete his 7 Innovators. Get himself a Dragon early. Well, not too early. We're already in round 5, but it would be nice to have at this point. Several Broms out on the board, a couple Scions as well, Yordles across the board. So not a lot of competition in the Innovator area as well. So he does have the potential to make this work. A lot of damage coming down, and that bear is so tanky. And there goes another win. Paragon Gamer going to lock it up against Skirt Cobain. Decides he doesn't want the Yumi after all. Really hoping to find a Jace, goes ahead and throws the Zac back out there. And it looks like he's going to go for the hard carry Orianna now. I might have left the items set on Ezreal, and then once I got the Jace, swapped him out for that, which I thought was what he was doing. But now Orianna, sitting here pretty stacked, she falls down early before she's able to get off more than one ult and not put it to good use. Zillion will fall next, and that's going to be an L coming his way from Vicro. Okay, so he gets a Seraphine out there. He likes the Socialite spot. That's his 7th Innovator. He's feeling pretty good at this point. He's got the dragon out on the board, ready to do some work and fight for him. Pig Boss Moo. The dragon is still alive. The dragon falls, but it's too late, not able to get through, and it will be a dub going over to the side of Paragon. Oh, Paragon trying to... Oh, no. Paragon having a hard time trying to get through this Orianna. The ult comes through, and that's going to be a dub going over to Pig Boss Moo, as it is that Fiora with the GA and the Giant Slayer who's able to just make work onto that backline. And I didn't quite get to see what he picked up. It looks like he went for the Chemtech. That will give him 3 Chemtechs once he drops that on somebody. Goodbye, Swain. Hello. Who's it going to go on to? Decisions, Paragon. What will you do? All right, Seraphine locking up the Chemtech, and that's going to be Innovators, Scholars, Chemtech, Clockwork, Enchanters, Scrap, and Socialite. Nice little front line there for you. All right, now that's a pretty big Galio. Let's see how this goes. The Shroud sits a lot of his champions there. Going to do some work on their mana output. Dragon trying to keep people off of the back line. However, it looks like there's already a Galio in the area. There comes the ult from Kaisa. That's no good, and this is going to be very likely another L going over to the side of Paragon Gamer. It is, and he will fall. Drops himself down to 32 health, puts himself in 3rd place. Still only 6 people left. Top spot, 48 health, last person 4. He's sitting at 32, so not the worst place in the world. Gets another Innovator, decides to drop out the Jace. Leaves in the Singe, that way he has some of that front line. He's going to throw some items onto the Jace to go ahead and make him his... looks like he's going to go full carry Jace here. And the Titan's Resolve will be completed on him as well. Zillion gets pulled over into the enemy team. Sarms and Shoyer. But that's okay, because it is going to be the side. There it is. A Paragon Gamer that's able to lock that up and knock out. That means 2 other members here knock out. He is guaranteed at least 5th place. Vicious fighting for their life. Could be knocked out here as well. We'll have to see. Vicious will get knocked here as well. So this is Paragon Gamer going for at least 4th place now. .32 health, Shining Star at 21. So there's a nice little buffer there. Gives him a chance to go ahead and maybe go ahead and compete for possibly 3rd or 2nd, as Pig Boss Moo has 36 health, just barely for more than he does. Runin's not a terrible item. Not the best item to have for the team comp. You've already got a Runin's on your Jace. We'll see where he decides to put that after all. Dragon versus Dragon here. Kind of fun to watch as a Hextech against a Chemtech Drake. And all the items drop down. There's a Zac. There's some more gold. And boom goes the Dynamite Runin setting off to the bench. Renajin congratulating his teammate Paragon on breaking the bot 4. So he is in the top 4. Going to go ahead and go for at least a minimum of 6 points this game coming out of Paragon here. Zephyr takes out the Orianna. She's not able to stack up too much there. Scholars does give her some additional mana going through, though. Dragon's still alive. Orialt comes through. There goes the Poppy, so it's a bunch on one, and that's going to be another win for Paragon Gamer as he does deliver a decisive blow against Vicro. All right, Pig Boss Moon now in first place, followed by Paragon. Then we got Vicro and Shining Star for the last 4 in this game. Shining Star sitting on 1 health. If you're Paragon, you got to be hoping that just doesn't last and you get knocked out, so you are guaranteed even more points. Shining Star going up against him. He might have the chance to do it himself as these two will do battle. Dragon's still alive. Yumi hops over. She gets burst herself. The GA procced over on Lysandra. Over on Blitzcrank. He's going to reheal a little bit. He'll fall here as well, and that's going to be another win for him as Shining Star will fall. Big Boss Moo now falling into third place. Top 3 spot for our man, Paragon Gamer, as he moves into first place with 32 health. All right. Looks like he's going into the clone. Shroud comes down. Lysandra gets pulled. That's okay. Oh no, they got to try and cut through this Fiora again. There's her ult. She's able to get it off again. Zillion left standing here trying to figure out what to do. Can he cut through this incredibly strong Fiora? I think the answer is going to be no. He can't stun her to death. There's the ult, and that's going to be an L going over to the side of Paragon Gamer. Pig Boss Moo dropped down to just 1 health as Vicro is able to secure a spot in first place with 28, and Paragon in 22 in second place. Taking his time to decide, no rush. Now the rest of the carousel is his. Can't make a decision, decides to go with the Hextech Gunblade. Healing for a percentage of the damage's ability and true damage. Upgraded to level 9. He is maxed out. The first time I've seen this. Gets a sniper out there, but it's really going to be used for the Enforcer on Caitlyn. Looking to lock down some of the champions early on. All right, we'll see who he goes up against. This should be Pig Boss Moo. He's got a chance to knock him out here and secure second place. That would be wonderful for Cloud Gaming and Paragon Gamer. A lot of damage comes through, dropping champions left and right. That Fiora is strong. The GA popped. Not strong enough, though, as it will be Pig Boss Moo falling here. And that is going to be Vicro also losing, going down to 9 health. Paragon finds himself 22 health, first place, last 2 standing up against Vicro. 1 game before they get into Herald, and he's setting on the potential for a 2-star Jace. He's a man short on the field, but it doesn't matter. The 2-star Jace is going to be looking pretty good. However, he is going up against Yordles with a Yordle Lord now. Vicro does have the Vhagar out in force. We'll have to see if it ends up playing. Nope. Doesn't matter. This could be the win. We're watching it happen. Vicro falls, and that's going to be Paragon Gamer getting first place in the third game. He is able to lock up a grand total of 12 points. Huge win for Paragon and Clown Gaming, as that is going to make him jump up in the rankings. We've got one more game, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay here as we get into the fourth game where we will watch Paragon Gamer hopefully do a repeat and get himself a hot streak bonus as well. Stay tuned. I hope you didn't like the music too much because we're already going into the last game of the day with Paragon Gamer. Representing Clown Gaming, we've watched X-Renogen go 2 games, and we've watched Paragon now 2.5 games as he was able to lock up first place in that last game. Congratulations. Again, this is week 2 of the Aegis TFT Season 1 tournament. It is a 3-week regular season game followed by a playoff 16-man week and then finally a 8-man week in the finals. This is $1,500 split amongst the total champion winners, so we will get to see who wins that here in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and get loaded into this game. If you're in the chat, let me hear you say, "Good job, Paragon." Paragon was able to lock up first place in the last game, securing himself 12 points. A net positive all day long. It's going to be huge for the rankings in the of Clown Gaming in the standings. So that's exactly what we want to see. Let me go ahead and get some audio here. I'm sure you want to hear. He goes ahead with the Garen and the Giants belt. Those minions didn't stand a chance. I could have sworn he got Garen. He got the Poppy with the recurve bow. My bad.
I go where the work leads. Hot on the trail.
Opted to go for only one person out on the board. A dangerous game. Stressing me out, man. Gets the win against the minions. Alright, we got Payday, Knife's Edge, and Pirates. Knife's Edge giving you extra attack damage for the first 2 row. Payday giving you some extra... He goes for Knife's Edge. It's a nice broad pick for the first game. I like it. Or for the first option. I mean, I like it. And that augment is going to be locked in. I'd like to see one other person get out there. Yeah.
Now we begin.
Ooh, the double Alawi.
Violence is a means to an end.
Alright, so we see Trundle, we see Alawi that's got the bruiser bonus, and just as I say that, he swaps it out and goes for the clockwork. And gives himself an early level 4 and gets the challenger bonus as well. I like the attack speed coming out of this team. Feels good on Trundle, feels good on Warwick. I expect this to go in his favor. Paragon coming out with an early first win against Chelsby. Chesby? Chasebelly. Chesbelly. You know what? Names are not important. Actions are important. And right now, I don't see any wins.
Let's get cracking. Let's get cracking.
Alright, Talon onto the back line. Warwick turns to face him. Still going to do a great job of cutting through with the static shiv there. Enforcers in place, locking up the Twisted Fate. And that's another dub. Purple Pouring? Yeah, Purple Pouring is going to fall here. And Paragon locking up 2 wins in a row right out the gate. That's exactly what you want to have if you are Clown Gaming. Silver Caitlyn out on the board now, too. Still rocking Enforcer's Clockwork and Challenger. Going into what appears to be Arcanist Socialite. That's a very big Swain, though. And drops 2 of those members. Caitlyn, I don't think she can do this. And that is going to be the first loss handed over by Fossil Dyna. And look at that big ass, look at that big Swain. Titan's Resolve making him just a monster of a champion. Looks like he's got some potential mercenaries and twin shots working his way over against them. Vex, going to go ahead and get the BF sword. As he's got the competition, I don't see a lot of people going for a similar build. He's got Clockwork, Enforcer, Challenger. I see a lot of mercenaries, a lot of twin shots, a lot of bruisers, so not too much competition. A couple Yordles in his face here with Woblum. And he gets handed another loss here from Woblum with the Yordles and the Arcanists. Also looks like Bodyguard as well. Making a couple purchases here. We'll see what he decides to play out. Another Warwick sitting down there. Decides to go ahead and drop her out. Goes ahead and gets Bruisers going. Enforcer still in play. So now we've got Bruisers and Enforcers. We went ahead and got rid of the Clockwork and the Challenger option there. Going into Mercenary Bruisers Twin Shot here. Beautiful ult coming out of the Caitlyn, and this is going to be an easy dub for Paragon as he's able to lock that up. Krugs don't stand a chance against this Paragon team. 86 health on the lower half, but nothing too crazy.
As expected. Let's get to the fun part.
Likes the placement of the Socialite. Decides to go ahead and put Vi on there. Tarek out on the field. Swaps out of Ziggs now. That gives him Scrap, Bruiser, Socialite, Enforcer, and Bruiser. And he decided to go ahead and swap out the Janna. Gives himself the Enchanter bonus as well. There goes Caitlyn, an unfortunate pull there. She's going to get popped relatively quickly here, and she is off. But not before she gets her ult off. Good job, Caitlyn. You got Trundle carrying with the Bloodthirster as well as the Static Shiv. 4v3. Leona will fall next. There goes the Blitzcrank, and Tristana is going to go ahead and fall here, giving another dub over to the side of Paragon Gamer.
True explorers follow the compass in their heart.
And now we've got Ezreal joining the field. Just for a second, swapping him around, trying to decide what he likes best.
I never compromise.
And beautiful job as Paragon Gamer is able to lock up another win against Purple Pouring. Handed him a loss earlier on, so it's nice to see him go from 6th to 2nd place all within a very short time span. Got a couple augments available. 10 gold and maximum interest to 7, the Scholar Emblem and a Heimerdinger. And then the last option is going to be Stand United, 3 attack damage per trait available on the board. We'll see what he opts to go with here. He has several traits, so the Stand United could be a good option. I'm always a big fan of the interest in the gold.
Let's get cracking.
Another Vi. Has the Talon out there. The Talon not really offering any kind of benefit, just more of a placeholder, it appears. Paragon looking to make a dent here into Fossil Dyna. 4v3, that is a big, big Swain, though. Are they going to be able to cut through him? Not quite. That is going to be another loss going over to the side of Paragon Gamer from Fossil Dyna as the Titans resolve Swain. Big boy able to cut through. And he goes with the chain vest. Now, it's very likely we're going to see that chain vest go on to maybe the Trundle for the GA, perhaps. We'll have to see.
As expected.
And he gets the dub there. Sitting at 82 health, third place, feeling very strong. Looks like we had a disconnect as Dragon Fruit is not in the game. I don't know if he was a random or if what happened there. And that's another dub going over to Paragon as he moves himself into second place. Fossil Dyna still undefeated. Rolling at 100% health at 3-6. Not what you want to see, but certainly not looking in the bottom half here, as there's a big gap between third and fourth, 82 to 62, 20 health right there. So he's feeling pretty good going into Wolves here. Has himself Enforcer, Enchanter, Scrap, Scholar, Bruiser, and Socialite. So quite the rundown of different traits activated across the board.
The stars care not.
Against Chast Belly. Beautiful job doing some damage to that front line across the board. Vi still very viable here. That was a pun. I hope everybody caught that. And it looks like you are going to get the win, Paragon. Congratulations.
A little slash. Stands for Jinx. Let's get cracking.
I do not hunt to kill.
Lux on the board doing some damage, cutting through his team. It looks like this could be another L. Fossil Dyna handing over to Paragon. And that's exactly what we're going to see here.
Metal is harder than flesh.
If you are now fully activated on the side of Philchen, or I'm sorry, Dr. Dan. Second loss in a row handed over to Paragon. Going into Carousel, though, he's still going to be top 2 for Carousel. Already a player knocked out. You got 3 players in the 30 health bracket, 2 and 50, and he's sitting at 60. Meanwhile, first place still at 100. So don't count him out of it yet. He's still got options. He can still definitely try and take Fossil Dyna down. He just needs to get the right comp going for himself.
I see things clearly.
The stage is set.
By your command.
Well, time to make one of those rounds. Don't worry, I am here.
All right, here he goes. Yumi gets a good little ult, not enough. It is going to be a win going in favor of Paragon as he went up against the clone.
Let's get to the fun part.
Purple Pouring taking some damage. Yumi able to get the ult off before she passes here. And that will be another loss coming over from Purple Pouring, going over to Paragon Gamer.
The storm approaches.
One health hanging in there, still at 55 for Paragon. Second place. Purple Pouring on fire now as well, though, at 53 health. Not what you want to see if you're sitting just above them with barely a little bit more health.
All part of the plan. Just made up.
There's the Silver Urgot, feeling great about that. Gets Runins on him. Urgot carry for the win.
Well, time to make Mundo's rounds.
The fight goes through. Janna pulled early, going to get blown up. Her ult is able to disperse a little bit, but it doesn't quite get to pop off. There goes the ult from Urgot, but he's not able to get too much of it off either. Meanwhile, Jinx dives right into the back line. And that is CharlesEllroy going ahead and delivering an L over to Paragon Gamer. Purple Pouring taking second place, dropping Paragon to 40. CharlesEllroy is now in 30 health too, and he is on a steady climb up. Dr. Dan delivering another L to Paragon. As Dr. Dan still hangs in there. CharlesEllroy dropping down to 15. Fossil Dyna taking a loss now. 83 health, dropped down quite a bit. These late game losses will move you down quite a bit if you're sitting in the top. So that's not looking good for Fossil Dyna. Sisters activated, Twin Shots activated, Scrap, Scholar, Enforcer, Bruiser, and 5 Kimtech. Quite the team going for Paragon. Looking around to see what his next move could be, how he needs to set up defensively, depending on who he goes against. It will be Purple Pouring, who's on a win streak. Assassin's onto the back line. Urgot taken out before he can ult at all. The ult comes out from Janna, pushes some of those assassins off onto the tankier, but she will fall GA procced, and that will be another loss from Purple Pouring going over to Paragon Gamer. Looking for Dr. Dan to fall here. No matter what, you get positive LP, but the more the merrier. CharlesEllroy taken down to just 2 health. Dr. Dan will stay alive. CharlesEllroy will stay alive. Not where you... CharlesEllroy, I don't know how to say that. If anybody knows how to say it, correct me. But definitely not where you want to be. picking up a Victor. Got a Jace out on the front line. Give himself a little bit of that tankiness. Maybe looking to try and get a gold Mundo here. Gets rid of the Victor. GA sitting on the bench. Drops it on Urgot. Moving Urgot and Jinx around a little bit for positioning. Not much he can do with that second Mundo. He needs the other Chemtech to have 5 Chemtechs. Shroud of Silence connects with the Urgot. Lux just dropping people left and right as the ult fires willy-nilly. That will be another loss coming over towards Paragon. Very likely going to take him out here. Drops him down, but he still managed to get 5th place. Jaspoli could lose here as well. We're going to see. Jaspoli falls as well, and that's going to move Paragon into 4th place. That is going to secure him, what is that, 6 points? Congratulations, Paragon has made a huge move today, securing himself almost 22 points in the rankings, moving himself up. So that is a huge win for Clown Gaming, as Paragon is going to get himself over 20 points in the standings, moving up. Meanwhile, Renogen was able to secure himself 4 positive wins as well. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get Paragon's game up here. I mean, Renogen's game up if he's still playing. Bear with me. Looks like Renogen is not on. He must have been knocked out earlier than that, and so we will not see his final game. But congratulations to Paragon Gaming, Paragon Gamers. He was able to lock up several points for Clown Gaming. Clown Gaming has 2 champions, 2 players in this league. This is the Aegis TFT Season 1 League, Week 2 of general play. There are 3 weeks of general play, 1 week of playoffs, and 1 week of finals. Both of their teams were in, both of their players were in the top 16 this week. We expect to see Paragon get quite a bump after a first place finish. Renogen was in 7th place, so even with his finish today, he should still be doing fairly well. And we will have to see how everything finishes out. We want to say thank you to Clown Gaming. We want to say thank you to Aegis, and we want to say thank you to both Paragon and Renogen for playing those games and doing so well in the tournament today. If you missed any part of the game, feel free to tune back in. We're going to have the video on demand up later this evening or maybe tomorrow. You can always tune back in to watch it. And as well, feel free to tune in. Clown Gaming has some great games. They've got league matches. They've got TFT matches. You can always feel free to tune in and watch them here. I've been CharlesEllroy. I want to say thank you to Clown Gaming for letting me cast the game, and have a good evening. We're going to go ahead and silently watch the rest of this game, and yeah, thank you very much for tuning in.